The online world is changing all the time, and it's pretty hard to keep up, am I right? So what do you actually need to grow in 2023 and beyond? In this video, I'm going to tell you about the 5 things you absolutely need to know if you're going to be successful in 2023. Need to know number 1, the niche is critical. There are billions of people online and there are millions of content creators, which means the only way for you to actually stand out online so you don't need to compete with everyone is to niche down. Let's talk about your niche. Oh, I'm not doing that. What do you mean? Well, I've decided that I don't want to turn anyone away. When you try to talk to everyone, you talk to no one. What do you mean? Well, one day you're talking about weight loss and all the weight loss people are super into it, but then the next day, you're talking about acne and the weight loss people are like, WTF, what happened to weight loss? And then the next day you're talking about migraines and the acne people are like, huh? I came here for acne tips. And so ultimately it just really confuses people. So I have to niche down? Yes, if you want to be successful online, absolutely. Since 2020, the number of business applications has dramatically increased. And that means there's going to be a lot more competition online. The only way for you to be able to compete is actually to reduce the size of the playing field by getting known for one thing in a smaller space. And if you need help with your niche statement, you can check out my video called Write Your Niche Statement in 5 minutes or less, and I will link to that below the video. Need to know number 2 is to build a personal brand. People online are looking for human connection, which is why the only way that you're going to be successful as a coach online is to actually build a personal brand. So I've noticed that you're using your logo for your profile picture on your Instagram, and I never really see any photos of you. What's up with that? Yeah, so I've decided that I'm too introverted to show my face on social media, so I'm just gonna post health tips. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Why not? Because people only buy from individuals who they know, like, and trust. And would you trust someone whose face you've never seen? Well, no, but I see businesses doing it all the time, like Nike and like Target. And those brands also pay a fuck ton of money to hire influencers, because even if you are a brand without a face, you still need to humanize your brand. Are you saying that I need to show my face online? Yes, you need to build a personal brand, which is the intersection between your unique personality, vibe, and the product that you sell. Okay. I think I got it. So we all know that health is super personal. And what that means is people aren't going to invest in a faceless brand or someone who they don't trust. That means you need to bring your unique presence to the way that you show up online in order to market and sell what you do. Need to know number 3 is to tell stories. Everyone loves a good story, right? Using stories in your social media is a great way to drive connection and actually make your content more interesting. I know you told me to tell more stories, but my life is pretty boring. So you don't have to tell these really intricate, action-packed stories. You just need to be able to draw a lesson from a story. Can you give me an example? So the other night, my cat didn't come home at the time that she usually comes back at, which is really odd because she loves her food and she always comes home. And so we were worried about her. We were looking for her. We looked in the forest, we looked on the road, and we couldn't find her. And then it got dark. We got really worried, and we were so upset to the point that we had literally mourned the death of the cat. We were beside ourselves. And then suddenly at about 8:30, she comes in the door. She's totally fine. And we were like, oh my God, she's home. And we like cried our tears of joy. And even though she was only gone for like 4 hours, it felt like an eternity. And we basically had given up. And I think that can often feel like growing a business, because in the beginning, it's really slow and you have to be patient and it feels like an eternity and you feel like you want to give up. But in the grand scheme of a business that you run for like 20 or 30 years, the first couple years is basically nothing, right? And so really, you just need to be patient and you need to trust in the process, just like I had to be patient and trust that my cat knew how to take care of herself and that she would eventually come home. You see what I did there? Yes, you took a basic story from your life and you used it to convey a lesson. Exactly. So even when you think a story is seemingly boring, it's actually interesting to your audience. When you focus on the details of your story and speak to the 5 different senses, you can take an average story and turn it into a powerful vehicle to convey a message. And if you want more information on building a brand, you can check out my video called Building Brand Identity, and I will link to that below this video. Need to know number 4 is to sell an experience. Selling single appointments or packages of sessions doesn't really give anyone any sort of memorable experience. But when you sell your audience a really amazing and memorable experience. They will get bigger and better results. Plus, they're gonna tell everyone about your program. So tell me, what are you gonna offer your audience? I'm gonna charge $100 an hour. Yeah, I don't recommend doing that. Why? For one, a single appointment is not gonna get anyone a result. Do you really think someone can change their life in a 1-hour session? Well, no, but I'm gonna just convince them to buy more sessions. Well, that means that you actually need to be transactional at the end of every session. At the end of every appointment, you need to focus on selling the next one. That sounds like it kind of sucks. It does, and the barrier to entry is so low that there's a good chance you're never gonna see any of those clients again. What do I do instead? Create an online program that gives them everything they need to be successful and also gives them an unforgettable experience. Okay, and then I can charge more money, right? Yeah, exactly. And you can also charge more money. You're gonna get more upfront commitment from the client because of the longer time period, which means you can get them bigger and better results. Amazing! So when I was charging hourly, I was exhausted. Instead of just focusing on supporting a client in the session, I had to sell at the end of that session. And that was stressful. Most clients I only saw one time, or they would show up 6 months later and say, oh, I fell off the wagon and now I want to get back on track. That was pretty unfulfilling. And so when you work like this, it actually keeps you exhausted, overwhelmed, and in a state of poverty because you're living client to client. That's why building a program that lasts 3 to 4 months so you can truly give them that unbelievable experience is going to be much easier for you to sell and way easier on your health. And if you need help building your online program, you can check out my video called Elements of a Killer Online Program, and I will link to that below this video. Need to know number 5 is to prioritize list building. You cannot rely on social media alone to build a business. Did you know, on average, only 1 to 2% of your followers actually see your posts? And that makes it so hard to follow up with your audience, and the money is in the follow-up. I'm doing all the things, Kendra. I'm posting, I'm engaging, and I'm not getting clients. Okay, so how many people on your email list? 0. I don't have one yet. Well, you're leaving a lot of money on the table by doing that. I am? So you don't actually own social media, and it's super risky to base your entire business on social media. A very, very small percentage of your audience actually see your content, but on an email list, 25% plus of those people will actually open one of your emails. That's a lot more. Yeah, and while social media is a great place to start the conversation, the best place to sell is actually on the email list. Oh, so where do I start? You can start by creating a free resource that you can offer them in exchange for their email address. So I don't know if you remember fall of 2021, but there was a day where Instagram and Twitter went down for most of the day. Everyone was freaking out. Everyone flocked to Twitter. And to prove a point, I actually sent out 2 emails that day and offered something to my audience. And I ended up making $5,000. So when Facebook and Instagram went down, I didn't really care. I took a break. I sent those 2 emails because I still had access to my audience through my email list. And this is why you need to prioritize building a list in 2023. And if you need help building your email list, I have a video called How to Build an Email List for Coaches, and I will link to that in the description below. And to summarize your need to knows for 2023, number 1, the niche is critical. Number 2, build a personal brand. Number 3, tell stories. Number 4, sell an experience. And number 5, prioritize your list growth. Now, obviously, there's a lot more that goes into building a business, but these 5 things are a great place to start. So good luck. Now, if you need help building your online program so that you have something to sell online, I have a free masterclass that'll show you exactly how to do this, and I will link to that in the description below this video. I'll see you in the next one.